Hello to all. Today topic is calcium homeostasis and related hormones, that are parathyroid hormone, calcitonin and vitamin D3. In the very beginning class, most of the portion about the calcium metabolism has had taught in first class, in beginning class. So in short, these are the main functions. As you all knows about the physiological importance of calcium, that is already taught. The main functions of calcium in body are: first, most important is homeostasis, that is calcium ion are essential in a number of reactions in the clotting process. Second important is entry of calcium through the calcium channels is involved in action potential in some excitable tissue like heart muscle. And third one is calcium is necessary for excitation, contraction, coupling in muscle contraction. Fourth important is calcium is essential for secretion of hormones. It also acts as a second messenger and for enzymatic regulation. Fifth, calcium is important constituent of milk, bone and teeth, and it also play in release of different type of neurotransmitters. So these are the main functions. So calcium is the most abundant material in the body, and the amount of calcium is balanced among the intake, storage and excretion. Normal the plasma calcium level is ranges from 9 to 11 milligram per dl. Not necessary. Storage, excretion, these topics had already taught in first class, so I am skipping these. Calcium present in body in three form, that are in ionized form and calcium complex with anions, and third, bound to proteins. So in ionized calcium it is about 45 to 50%, and with protein bound calcium it is about 40 to 45%, and calcium present in ions it about 10%. So extracellular calcium, binding of calcium to albumin is pH dependent. Acute alkalosis increases the calcium binding to protein and decreases the ionized calcium. Patients who develop acute respiratory alkalosis have increased neural excitability and are prone to seizures. And this is due to low ionized calcium in the extracellular fluid, which result in increased permeability to sodium ion. So calcium and the phosphorus are related closely. Calcium is tightly regulated with the phosphorus in the body. Phosphorus is an essential mineral necessary for ATP, cyclic AMP and second messenger system. Calcium turnover. So only ionized form, that is about 45 to 50%, it is biologically active form only. Phosphorus in bone, blood and phosphorus normal plasma concentration is about 0.3 to 3 to 4.5 milligram per dl, and 87% is diffusible with 35% complex to different ion and 52% ionized. %% is in a non-diffusible protein bound state, and 85 to 90% is found in bone, and some amount also in ATP and cyclic AMP and other proteins. %99% of calcium is found in the bone. Most is found in hydroxyapatite crystals. Very little calcium can be released from the bone, through it is a major reservoir of calcium in the body. Bone is the major reservoir for calcium. So come to the physiology of bone. First, structure. There are two types of bone in our body. First, compact bone, which forms the outer layer of majority of the bones. 80% of all bones are made up of compact bone, and the remaining 20% are formed by a spongy bone. And these are also, the spongy bones are also known as trabecular bones, and these are made up of small plates of the bone with a comparatively large surface area and high degree of metabolic activity. So this is a picture. So the structure of the long bone and vertebra. See the difference between these two. Cortex. Here to here it is a portion of the cortex. Outer is periosteal surface, inner is endosteal surface. These are the trabeculae. In long bone, concentric lamina are present. Concentric and circumferential lamina are present. So bone is made up of mainly two elements. First, collagen and bone crystals. The collagen filling of the matrix and the bone crystal composed of hydroxyapatite, and the collagen fiber are mainly composed of type 1 collagen, which contains the 3 polypeptide molecules. Calcium turnover in body. Calcium turnover in bones. 80% of bone mass consists of cortical bone. For example, dense concentric layer of appendicular, that is long bones, and 20% bones mass is of trabecular bone. ठीक है, already told. %99% of the calcium in our bodies is found in our bones, which serve as a reservoir for the calcium storage. 10% of total adult bone mass turnover each year during the remodeling process. During growth, the rate of the bone formation exceeds reabsorption as the skeletal mass increases. After that, linear growth occurs at only epiphyseal plate, and when there is increase in width occurs at periosteum layer. Once the adult bone mass is achieved, equal rate of formation and reabsorption maintains bone mass until the age of 30. And when the rate of reabsorption begins to exceed the formation, and the bone mass slowly decreases. Type of bone cell. There are 3 types of bone cells mainly present. First one is osteoblast. Osteoblasts are bone forming cells located on the surface of bone, and they synthesize collagen and other proteins and alkaline phosphate. Second cell is osteocyte. The osteocytes are derived from osteoblasts. They are buried within the bone matrix. And third one is osteoclast. These are the large multinucleated cells derived from monocyte with plenty of lysosomes, and these cells are chiefly responsible for bone reabsorption. How the bone forms? The active osteoblasts synthesize the exudate collagen fibrils from the arrays of an organic matrix known as osteoids. Calcium phosphate is deposited in the osteoids and become mineralized. And this mineralization is combination of calcium phosphate, hydroxide, and H2CO2 hydroxyapatites. So mineralization requires the calcium phosphate and vitamin D3. Caniculi, these are not important. This is the diagram of bone cells, how formed. Control of bone formation and reabsorption. Bone reabsorption of the calcium by the two mechanisms. Osteocytic osteolysis is a rapid and transient effect, and osteoclastic reabsorption, which is slow and sustained. Both are stimulated by parathyroid hormone. Calcium phosphate precipitate out of the solution, and that is solubility is exceeds. The solubility is, this is the form, that is not important. Solubility, in the absence of hormonal regulation, plasma calcium is maintained at 6 to 7 mg per dl by this equilibrium. These are not very important. Now the process of bone reabsorption. Cells responsible for this process is osteoclast. How this occurs? In this process, an osteoclast get attached to the site of bone reabsorption in such a way that a pocket is formed between it and the underlying bone, and then the hydrogen ion are secreted into this space by the hydrogen ATPase, which lowers the local pH, and this help in dissolving hydroxyapatite. And after this, another enzyme known as acid protease destroy the collagen, and after that the bone surface, due to these erosive processes, becomes depressed locally. So this is the process how the bone reabsorption occurs. Bone remodeling. Endocrine signals to resting osteoblasts generates paracrine signals to osteoclast and precursor. Osteoclast reabsorbs and the area of the mineralized bone. Local macrophages clean up the debris, and the process reverses when the osteoblast and the precursor are recruited to the site and generate the new matrix. And these new matrix finally get mineralized, and the new bone replaces the previously reabsorbed bone. So this is the flow chart showing the process of bone reabsorption. Now come to the calcium bone and osteoporosis, how these are related. Osteoporosis, here is the condition in which the total osteoporosis is characterized by loss of bone matrix associated with the loss of mineralization. and it is a condition in the old age group persons mainly affected, especially women. So the human peak bone mass is at 30 up to 35 year, 25 to 35 year. Men have more bone mass than women, and after that the gradual declines occur in both genders with the aging, but women undergo an accelerated loss of bone due to increased reabsorption during perimenopausal age. And when the bone reabsorption exceeds formation, there is reduced bone density and mass, and this leads to osteoporosis. It is a pathological condition, and in this the person is more prone to fracture. The factors which reduces the process of osteoporosis are calcium in diet, habitual exercise, avoidance of smoking and alcohol intake, avoid drinking carbonated soft drinks. So this picture showing the difference between age related changes in bone. First one is picture of 40 years old lady, and second one is a picture of 92-year old. You can see here the change clearly showing the less bone mass here in 92-year-old women. See here the difference. Now come to the hormonal control of bone. This is the table showing the bone formation and bone reabsorption formation. The bone formation is stimulated by growth hormone, that is constant, insulin-like growth factor, insulin, estrogen, androgen, vitamin D mineralization, transforming growth factor, calcitonin, parathyroid hormone intermittent, and inhibited by cortisol. And the bone reabsorption is stimulated by parathyroid hormone constant, vitamin D, cortisol, thyroid hormone, prostaglandins, interleukin 1-6, and tumor necrotic factor alpha and beta. And this process inhibited by estrogen, androgen, calcitonin, and transforming growth factor B, gamma interferon, and nitric oxide. Now the hormonal control of calcium. The main hormones which regulate the metabolism of calcium is parathyroid hormone, vitamin D3, that is 1,2,5-dihydroxy vitamin D3 is the active form, and calcitonin. These three hormones regulate the calcium metabolism, like reabsorption, excretion from bone, kidney, and intestine. In addition, many other hormones also affect. Vitamin D, after its activation to the hormone 1,2,3-dihydroxy vitamin D3 is a principal regulator of the calcium. Vitamin D increases the calcium absorption from the intestine and calcium reabsorption from the bone. Synthesis. Vitamin D synthesized from the two sources. First in the skin by ultraviolet radiation, and second by ingestion in the diet. Vitamin D is not a classic hormone because it is not produced and secreted by an endocrine gland. It is not a true vitamin. And so vitamin D is true hormone that act on the distant organ cells to evoke the response after binding to high receptor. Vitamin D3 synthesis occur in keratinocytes in the skin. This is the process. 7-dehydroxycholesterol is photoconverted to pre-vitamin D3, then spontaneously converts to vitamin D3. Pre-vitamin D3 then will become degraded by overexposure of ultraviolet light and thus is not overproduced. Also 1,2,3-dihydroxy vitamin D3, the end product, that is feedback to and inhibits its further production. Synthesis of vitamin D. Parathyroid hormone also stimulates vitamin D3 synthesis in the winter, or if the exposure to sunlight is limited, that is in indoor jobs or in winter season, then the dietary vitamin D is essential. Vitamin D3 itself is inactive and it requires modification to the active metabolites like 1,2,3-dihydroxy D. First hydroxylation occurs, then second hydroxylation in kidney takes place, and finally active form of vitamin D3 we get. The mitochondrial P450 enzyme 1-alpha hydroxylase converts the final product, that is active form 1,2,5-dihydroxy D. That is this is the most potent metabolite of vitamin D, and this the parathyroid hormone stimulates the 1-alpha hydroxylase and increases the active form of vitamin D3. Now come to the regulation of vitamin D metabolism. Parathyroid hormone increases 1-hydroxylase activity, and this leads to increased production of active form. This increased calcium absorption from the intestine increases the calcium release from bone and decreases loss of calcium through the kidney. As a result, parathyroid secretion decreases, and decreasing 1-hydroxylase activity, that is negative feedback, controlled by negative feedback mechanism. Low phosphate concentration also increases 1-hydroxylase activity, that is vitamin D increases phosphate reabsorption from the urine. So this is not very important. This show how the regulated by the phosphate level and parathyroid hormone synthesis. Vitamin D is a lipid soluble hormone that binds to a typical nuclear receptor analogous to steroid hormones. Because it is lipid soluble, it travels in the blood bound to hydroxylated alpha globulin, and there are many target genes for vitamin D3. Details not needed. Action. Come to the action. The main action of this active form of vitamin D3 is to stimulate the absorption of calcium from the intestine. By increasing the synthesis of cal-bind proteins and the epithelial calcium transporters. Second, genes regulated. There are some genes also present, but these are not very important. The action of vitamin D3 on bone: it stimulates the osteoclastic bone reabsorption. It also promotes the bone mineralization with the help of the elevated calcium concentration, which is a result of increased absorption from the gut and kidney. As vitamin D3 is synthesized by the keratinocytes in skin, it can also be used in treatment of psoriasis also. Psoriasis is a condition of skin pathology related to skin disease. Action on bone: in bone, the vitamin D3 is another important target for. In this, the osteoblasts have vitamin D receptors present in only osteoblast but not in osteoclast. So these act on osteoblast, which produce a paracrine signals that activate the osteoclast to reabsorb calcium from the bone, and this finally leads to stimulates osteolysis. Proper bone formation is stimulated by vitamin D3. In this absence, the excess osteoid accumulates from lack of vitamin D3 of the osteoblastic collagen synthesis, and this inadequate supply of vitamin D results in the pathological condition known as rickets, a disease of bone formation, and osteomalacia. These both are two related disorders, that is rickets and osteomalacia. The rickets are characterized. These two are characterized by the deficiency of vitamin D, leading to decreased deposition of calcium in bone. In this rickets, rickets is the disease mainly affecting the young children. In this condition, the bone becomes soft due to deficient deposition of calcium, so that the bones are bent by body weight. And this typical manifestation of disease in children, there is lock knee and bow legs present in this disease. And osteomalacia is also occurs due to deficiency of vitamin D, but it mostly confined to adult women, particularly during pregnancy or lactation. So this is all about vitamin D and applied related to vitamin D deficiency. The two hormones that left are, which are related to calcium metabolism, are parathyroid and calcitonin. So in next class I will teach about these two different hormones related to calcium metabolism.